Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. Today we discuss a model launched in 2019 in rose gold from Glashutte Original of Glashutte, Germany. We have the SeaQ Panorama datum, or panorama date. The watch, often described as the German 50 fathoms because of comparable quality, size, and aesthetic, is a substantial machine, and you can really get a sense of that. Even though it's not a full bracelet watch, when you put it on the scale, that is bomber for a watch that's only on a strap. So you really feel the heft of this watch. It's significant. 43.2 millimeters in diameter. You can see that the watch in profile is 16 millimeters thickened from lug tip to lug tip, 51.3 millimeters, with a 21 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Now, it does have a little bit of a late 60s aesthetic to the case, and all of these are drawn from a late 1960s Glashutte Original manufactured dive watch. I think it's called the RPTS 200, I want to say, but there is a more vintage inspired version of the SeaQ. This is more of a modern interpretation of the historic tropes. Throwing it on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, you can see it's large. I would recommend that you need a wrist my size or larger. You can see from over the top, the lugs out to the edge, even down the barrel. There's not a whole lot of clearance here. There are smaller versions of the watch. I'd recommend them if your wrist is any smaller than mine. I could wear this, I would wear this, but as with the 50-15 series, 50 fathoms, I find that I am probably the smallest wrist that can wear it. So just keep that in mind. This is a broad watch. It is thick, though not absurdly so, for a full-featured 100-hour Power Reserve 300-meter diver. And then we've got a strap, and I do prefer to have rubber straps on divers, with a little chevron motif or maybe a herringbone molded into it. It's quite thick in profile, which augurs well for its durability over time. And then you can see that we have, again, that chevron motif molded into the bottom. It is a Glashutte Original factory strap, and we've got a rather substantial folding clasp. It feels heavy, it looks heavy, it's got these twin triggers, and I'm impressed by the solidity. Obviously, it's a purchased part. It's made by Brogioli, it says right there, but Glashutte has chosen its partners well, and this is a superior component. It feels as robust as it is, and it adds real value to the watch. A folding clasp, because some people do wonder, is designed to create a loop so that no matter what happens when you open up your watch, you can't drop it off your wrist instantaneously. That is the point of that sort of clasp. As I mentioned, there are some vintage vibes here, and that's most noticeable in the profile of the watch, where you have the narrow case band that is characteristic of older models and vintage watches. You have a very minimal bevel or polish that runs from end to end. We have this circular brushed satination on the top of the lugs, but then a very short vertical satination in profile, and then the lugs are very squared off. We do have a crown guard structure. You can see the crown featuring a combination of media blast and polish with these little crown guard horns. We have a bezel that features both satination by media blast and polish on its knurling, and the knurling is easy to grip. It is a 120 click bezel, and I would say, again, this is where the 50 fathoms comes to mind. This feels very much like the bezel you'll experience on a 50-15, or even something like an Omega Planet Ocean. There's maybe an air de famille there, with all of those being within the swatch group, but it's 120 click, which means you can place it quite precisely. The insert is ceramic, so it should be far more durable than an anodized aluminum insert. Let's do a loom shot now. So you can see that the bezel pearl, in this case it's a triangular index, easy to read against the minute hand, which is vintage style broad arrow, and that all hands are loomed. You can see the seconds hand moving, so you know your dive timer is ticking in the dark or in the depths. I've often found that dive bezels are easier to live with than chronographs. I find them more useful as timers, easier to read, more intuitive, and they don't have the downstream service costs of a chrono. Black dial, you can see it's got a little bit of a camber to it. We have a dramatically cambered double curved sapphire that's designed to look like a vintage plexi. Make no mistake, it is sapphire. We have applique indices as well as numerals. And then we've got a hacking seconds function, instantaneous jumping date, and then you can see we have a flush disc panorama datum or outsized date with a quick set action. Rolling around back, we have a caliber 36-13. This is the movement that originally arrived on the Senator Excellence, and it had a couple of firsts for GO, the most important of which was the first use of an anti-magnetic silicone hairspring. As I pull the crown out, you can see that the watch also effectively has most of its timing adjustments made using a free-sprung balance where these screws move in and out in pairs to adjust the timing, and then the swan's neck in polished steel only used for secondary very fine adjustments. It is a 100-hour automatic, so you have quite a bit of autonomy. It is 6-position adjusted, not 5 like a chronometer, 6, which is 1 extra. Taking a look in profile, you can see that we have stripes across the bridges. We have both fire blued and polished screws. You can see that we've got solarization on that ratchet wheel right there. We also have snailing on the edge of the bridges, which is a little bit harder to see, but you can see it below my finger. Then satination on the wheels. That lovely swan's neck. My favorite feature is this magnificently solarized reduction wheel, and I believe that is done by hand at the factory. Again, 4 Hertz beat rate, 100-hour power reserve, a very precise timekeeper, and highly anti-magnetic. You've got all that there pivoting on 41 joules with a fairly large movement that looks good under the case back of a large sports watch. You might wonder, what on earth does this mean? Well, that is the German dive watch technical standard that is roughly the equivalent of the ISO 6425 that underpins most certified Swiss dive watches and dive watches generally. The ISO is a universal international standard. The Germans almost always have very closely paralleled DIN or German national standards as well, and there is a lot to love on this watch. True luxury in the dive watch space, a rarity and well done. Reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.